Hello, everyone. This thing on? Yeah, yeah, it's on. Okay. Good to see you all, or good to play with you all this week. Really excited about it. I think it's going to be really cool with that Ray Montaigne song, and each song in the worship set is a very has a very anthemic feel, if you will. Everything seems familiar, so we're going to be able to I think easily hold the attention of everyone in the room. Plus, we'll rock their faces off. But so the opener is obviously you see on the plans there. And if you guys want to take a look as I walk through this, I mean, you can look at my pretty face if you want to. But if you want to pull up your planning center as I'm walking through this, that'd be cool. But you'll see we got Our God, Revelation song, Greater Than Life, and then we're going to ease into a short little version of How Great Thou Art. Our God is we're going to do it just like the album, except you'll see there that there is a YouTube link that you need to all just listen to. It doesn't change the structure from what the original version is, but you'll hear some different, some added instruments in there, some strings going bum 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 bum, sounding just like that. But you'll hear those in there. It's going to add a little bit of fluff or a little bit more weight to it. It changes the vibe just a tad bit. We kind of felt like it made it bigger, and normally we would put a more upbeat, fast-paced song for the number one, the rock and guitar lead or something like that to call to worship, get everybody, okay, this is worship time kind of thing. But we decided to go with this because of the anthem feel, because we wanted to kind of take everybody on a journey through this worship set with a few different ideas as each song go. We go from God is great, above all things, to Revelation song, which is kind of pointing out the holy and the faithfulness of God, I guess, in a way. And then Greater Than Life, we're kind of anchoring on Jesus there. So we go from God the Father to God the Son. Anyways, that's kind of the idea of what we're doing. So we're starting out with Our God, a little bit stronger feel. So we might do some things that we'll talk about on Sunday to fill that up a little bit more, but we want that to be big. We're playing it with that track, so which means we're not going to be able to easily flow for two reasons. They're in two different keys, and another reason that track will stop, and we'll just have to stop with it, and then count into really fast the Revelation song, so which will be sung by Jessica. I drew a blank. And JR, if you're cool with it, we're going to, obviously it says that you're doing Our God. And so we'll do the song in B, same structure. You'll hear that I think there's 8 bars before the lyrics actually come in, and then everything else is just by the book, if you will, from the original album version. We're doing a Revelation song. It says in C, which means we are starting on a B. B. We're starting on a G, and then we're going to the 2, which is the D minor, and then we are going to F, and then C. So, worthy is the Lamb who was slain, holy is He. Of course, same chords all the way through. If you will, everybody listen to, especially you, Jessica, listen to the Jesus Culture version. I kind of tend to like that version a little bit more, some of the builds and things that they do. And on the third verse, they repeat filled with wonder, awestruck wonder at the mention of your name. We do that 3 times, and we build out of that third time into a big chorus. So draw your attention to that chorus, and then we will ease, I think, just simply through a pad, because I'll be doing a prompt there, so I think maybe we'll use a keys or a pad or maybe some guitar swells in there to help hold that pad as I do a prompt into Greater Than Life. And then I'll be singing the Greater Than Life, which I think is JR's song. So well done on the song, by the way. I'm gonna steal it, I guess, for the week. But then I will do a transition, and it's going to be very simple. So when we come out of Greater Than Life, we're just going to kind of hold on the 4 for a second, and then I'll start in, because it's the, what is it? process through that. I'm thinking we keep that obviously very low key. You can see with the kind of the dynamic I'm going for there. So we might have more of a pad there rather than keys, and then maybe some swells going underneath that. I don't know if one of you guys have guitars, electrics, have maybe an EBO or a POG or something, so we can kind of plant something underneath that and something we can work on. If you do, bring that, and we'll kind of process through that. I'd love to be real full and rich, but not too upbeat and crazy. We keep it slow, down tempo, things like that. So, in that transition, I'll do a little bit smoother. So we come out of the sings my soul, my Savior to thee. Something like that. And then obviously we're done. I pray out there, and next it is the Mark will come out and do the announcements. You guys can see all this. I'm just going to walk through it. Mark will come in and do the announcements, do the promo, and the promo will set up "You Are the Best" thing. And I'm pretty positive, if you will, everybody take a stab at it. But I think all we're going to use, we're not going to do keys, as you can see. Just under "Best Thing," there's a couple little notes there. Jonathan Robbins is singing it. And we got Jessica on the backup, Alanya on the backup. Got a couple horns in this, so this will be cool. And I'll be playing acoustic. JR, if you will, would you learn the song as much as you could? And I hate to ask you to learn something you might not play, but just in case, would you? And we're not going to use keys, obviously. I just said that. And Peyton, it's going to be, for you, it's going to be very minimal. So that's where we're at on that. So that's going to set up the sermon. So, and I know you guys know the worship set, but spend some specific time with it so we can kind of make that flawless. A lot of times that the 9 o'clock winds up being very much a rehearsal for everybody, and that's just, we were talking about last week. That's just kind of the nature of 9 o'clock. But as much as we can eliminate that, we definitely want to do that, because we don't want it to be a rehearsal. We want to give them everything we got in each one. And there'll always be things, like I was saying, that we'll be able to make better, and we naturally will have to fix, because when people fill in a room, things change a little bit. So, but if you will, just really hone in on that, and specifically that opener. I've already been working on it a little bit this week. So tonight I spent some specific time on it, but we just really want to make that win, because we're setting up this marriage thing, and it's a really big part of what this Breakthrough series is. And so as flawless as we can be, and you know, for me personally, the way I prepare for worship says a lot about what I believe about God and what I believe can happen in these worship services. So I hope you take that and kind of anchor how you rehearse and when you rehearse off of that. So, and I know I'm getting this a little bit later than I wanted to, but we still have some quality time to prepare, and spend tomorrow just working on it. And you know, as we move into, I sent you guys an email, and as we move into Sunday, and the time we spend also, we're musicians, and well, you guys are. I play guitar. I'm not a musician necessarily, but you know, we spend a lot of time rehearsing and doing all this stuff, and but even so, when we get on stage, there's not always a time where we can really worship. A lot of the technique we're doing, the technical things is what I mean, that we're doing just require a lot of attention, and we want to execute well. And so we don't always find, and you guys are very familiar with this, we don't always find that spot of worship. And I hope that everybody prepares enough that it'll be breezy and easy, and you'll easily be able to worship inside of the set along with the congregation. But the time that we get to really invest in the spiritual aspect of this is the time we spend before we get on stage, and the time we spend preparing. And so for singers, looking at the lyrics and kind of spending some time with those, what those actually mean, and that's very Sunday school and cliche to say, but it became cliche for a reason. It was a truth. You get it, but just spend some time with the lyrics and really worship beforehand. Guitarist, drummer, bass, horns, everybody. Just spend that time digging in and praying, along with that email, praying for the things that are going to come out of this series. A lot of you guys aren't married, and so you can't fully relate, except in the aspect of that at some point you will be, most likely. And the things that you do now, and the things that the way that we process and listen and draw into these things that will be taught by PK will be vital in that preparation of getting married and knowing who to pick and how to process through the engagements to the process through marriage itself. And for us that are married, as perfect as our marriages are, there'll be some really key things and vital things, and maybe marriage changing, life changing things that will be brought up. And so I know that my wife and I will be listening intently. So for yourself, pray those things, and then for the people in the room that really have, some of them just some broken marriages. Some people separated, some people being just ignorant, walls put up, and stubborn in the whole process, and those who are begging for that person to be back in their life, and there's just a lot going on, and the way that finances affect marriage, to the way that kids affect marriage, to your jobs affecting your marriage. There's just a lot of stuff, and so I believe that's going to be an important series, like it is every year, and God's going to do some big things, and so let's prepare beforehand for what's going to be done in our lives and the lives of the congregation as we worship with them and alongside them. Yeah, I think that's it. My last video was a little bit longer than this one, but so like I said, take some time with the lyrics, take some time with the music itself, and take some time in your own heart to just set it up. So appreciate you guys, and we'll rock and roll. We'll work on the opener very specifically on Sunday. I mean, I think I said it in the email, just to reiterate, we're going to do like 45 minutes of worship rehearsal, so we're really going to have to get hunker down and get serious about the worship as we process through it. We want to do it as quick as we can, still paying attention to everything. And then we're going to spend a very specific time getting set up with the horns and all that stuff, and then pay some specific detail to You Are the Best thing, so we can really execute it well. And then we're going to try to do, I believe we're going to try to do like a legit run through with no stops or anything. We'll just take notes along the way. The things going to be adjusted. I think that's it. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but excited to worship with you, like I said, and I appreciate you guys. It matters what we do here. So there you go. All right. Have a great night, and call me. My number is 678-488-2527. So if you guys ever need to call me, feel free. I text, call. Email is, what's my email? JeremiahJCurtis@gmail.com. So, all right. Have a great one.